All right, Ridgely here with Jay Bennett, the Blue Collar Networker, and today we're going to talk about the power of an event. How to get ready for the event, how to prepare for the event, and let's start out with why an event. What are the benefits that someone can expect and look forward to from really promoting for an event?
Well, first of all, events are critical. It's a big part of our industry, and that's building to events. And what it does is it gets people's belief system in place, just believing that they can do it. When you sit next to a person who's a six-figure earner or a seven-figure earner, and you find out their background and you realize maybe the challenges they had, the circumstances they were going through, and then they achieved the success, it starts to help you believe, hey, maybe I could do this, and it becomes real.
So, in other words, what you're saying is the association, even seeing people. Do you find that people have the reaction of, well, wait a second, I think I'm a lot like that person, and have that associate, well, if that person can do it, I think maybe I can, or how does that work?
And that's such a big part of the events, is that you can relate to certain people in that room. Not everybody's going to relate to one person, but when you see multiple people, you're going to be able to go, hey, I can identify with this person. Their story resonates with me, and it hits you. I remember being at a meeting, and this lady, she just shared her health story, her weight loss story, but it hit me right between the eyes and right between the heart. I mean, I was like, wow. And she didn't even know what an impact she made. I was in the back of the room, but it started to get me to believe, my God, this product absolutely does transform lives, and it affected everything in her life, and it affected me. Her story affected me.
So it doesn't mean that you have to be right up front either. You can be anywhere as long as you're paying attention, soaking it in, and listening to who is the person that touches your life.
That's true, and I will tell you though, not everybody can be in the front row.
Right.
But because let's say there's 20,000 people, we can't all be in the front row. But I will tell you, I like being in the front row because there's nothing to interrupt you. You're totally focused on what's going on that stage. And sometimes being in the back, I'll just be honest, there's a lot of distractions that occur. People's stepping up and walking down the aisle, and you glance here and you glance there. I'll tell you, you want to be focused on what's going on the stage and not be distracted.
So number one, belief. What else?
Belief is huge. So the second thing that I would think would be extremely important is just knowing that you're going to get a lot of information that's going to help you in your build. You're going to find more information on the products. You're going to know what's going on with the products, or if there's new products that the company's introducing. You're going to understand the compensation plan and all the different bonuses and how to maximize the compensation plan. You're going to find out about new tools that are coming out, or tools that they have, and how to utilize them more effectively. You're going to find out about the current promotions. A lot of times companies at these big events, they're laying out the promotions. And if you're not aware of these promotions, they're over before you even get started. And so you really have to be plugged in and pay attention to what's going on with current circumstances, current momentum, and current strategies, and current momentum promotions. So you get fed, if you will. You're getting educated. You're getting locked into what is going on. You're getting crystal clear.
So number one, belief. Number two, learning about tools and techniques and strategies, promotions. What else?
I'd say probably the third one is getting people to the event. Okay, it's great that you're getting educated. It's great that your belief is going up. But what you want is a team of people that are doing the same. And you have a better chance then of your organization exploding coming out of the event. If you go there by yourself, that's great, and you're going to get motivated and inspired, and you're going to say, I'm going to go to work. Wouldn't it be better if you had 10 people doing the same thing underneath you? that they're fired up.
Well, okay, great. So that sounds like it makes a lot of sense. Hey, I'm going to get myself inspired with my own belief system. I'm going to learn some more tools that I can use in my business. I'm going to bring some people. Now let's talk about how. How do I promote for the event? How do I get people to go there so that they can experience the benefits you've talked about?
That's a good point. If you have, let's say, 90 days prior to the event, this is going to make a lot of sense. If you're one day before the event, this is going to be a little tougher. So, we always talk about 90-day game plans. And so if you had a 90-day time period prior to the event, I tell everybody that the event will deliver. That's my confidence, especially with the company that I'm involved with. The events deliver. So I'm very confident that that's going to work. So the event is not the issue. It's the pre-event. The pre-event that is the issue. And the pre-event is basically all the things that we need to do on a daily basis anyway prior to that event. So, using the Facebook pages and adding people to the Facebook pages so they're getting acclimated to the products and to the business model. Facebook is a very great tool. Another one is the company website with all the videos and all the information, getting appointments set where people are looking those over. Another tool is three-way calls and getting people plugged into your upline team leaders or even sideline leaders or people that are within your organization where they're able to share their stories, but getting third-party validation. And we use three-way calls and today Zoom. Zoom is a very great way of people can see each other and it has a really positive impact and you allow people to share their story. There's so many different things that you can do. Launch parties or having a party where you just demonstrate the product. On and on and on. All those things are the front end of your funnel and you're getting people to take a look using these different tools. And so the more exposure you get that way, the more people that are in this funnel, the better chance you have of those people getting to the event, whatever that event is.
And do you have any particular strategies that you would recommend for the people watching, Jay? What conversation, what are the words that come out of your mouth, for instance, when you're promoting for an event and you're saying, hey, let's do some three-ways, somebody gets on the phone and you're saying, hey, John, Mary, let me tell you about the event. What do you say to them?
Well, I have a story that I've got to share.
Okay,
this is going to be a funny story because I think stories are key, and that's a key in network marketing is just sharing stories that validate what we're talking about. I had a gentleman that I was been in touch with for years, and he didn't want to hear about it, but then the next time I called him, which was like 2 years later, he was ready to hear what I was talking about. He was open, and I shared with him, you've got to get to this event. You've got to get to this event. Now, he lived in Colorado, and the event was in San Diego. That's kind of a far distance to go for an event. And but I said, you got to get there. You got to get there. And he was involved in another company that wasn't really doing well, but he was nervous to get to the event because possibly someone would see him and he would lose his check or whatever. And so when he said he couldn't get there because of that was his challenge, I said, well, why don't you wear a disguise? I just popped in my head. Why don't you wear a disguise? And he goes, that's a good idea. I think I'll do that. And his wife had blonde hair down to the back of her, the very end of her back. And she took that blonde hair and put it into a brunette beehive wig. So she looked totally different. He grew a goatee, because it was about 5-6 weeks prior to the event. So he grew a goatee, he got a little ponytail, he wore one of these little beanie hats, he had sunglasses on. And so when I met him in San Diego, I said, it's great to meet you.
Right.
But I guess I haven't met you yet because you're in disguise. I don't even know who you are. So
that's hilarious.
So he came to the event and wasn't really, he was cross-armed, cross-legged, cross-eyed. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, oh, this is not good. But by the end of the event, after he had heard all the stories and the results on the products and the people, their incomes and the stories, he opened up his arms, opened up his legs, opened up his eyes, and he got involved in the company. Now, he got someone immediately signed up from Colorado to Georgia, and from Georgia it went over to Sydney, Australia, and I have the largest group in Australia today because of that one guy that I got to this event. And that's how valuable it is.
So what you're saying to everybody, you don't have to tell everybody to go in disguise, right? I mean, they can come as they are, most people, right? We're okay with that?
We're okay with that. This is a very unique situation. All I know is it's so bizarre that I had to share it.
That is just so funny. And how important is it for the person watching this right now to they themselves register for the event now?
Well, the key is that, when you get committed and you register and you pay the money, and a lot of people, it's airfare, it's hotel, and it's the registration to get to the event. It's an investment. There's no doubt about it. We invest in our business that way. And so when you commit to that, then it's so much easier to get other people to commit to go. Now, if you don't commit to it, how do you have the power, the energy, the genuine sincerity to get other people to do it? You can't. You don't have that same ability because you have to commit first. So I always commit. I'm there. I mean, I don't miss events, and I have that power to invite people to the events. And and it's always something positive too. By the way, you're growing as a person. You're changing. You're developing. You're learning. You're meeting beautiful people. You're in great areas. I mean, it's always a blast. It's like a vacation. It's a lot of fun. And so we just want people to see the fun side of the business.
What would you say to someone who's relatively new to the business, who has a partner, spouse, someone that they're with, that's maybe a little shaky about everything, about bringing that person to an event?
Well, again, if you can get them there, it's going to be a beautiful thing because they're going to get a vision for themselves, what they need to do. And a lot of times people do need that encouragement. They need us to kind of say, hey, take the time, take the effort to be there. And so many stories of people that were resistant to go to an event, and someone really encouraged them and stayed with them and kind of got them to commit and actually go, and it changed their life completely. And they're so thankful that they got to that event. I would have to say that the bulk of people that are massively successful in this business, it's because they went to an event.
So it's, in other words, what you're saying, for all of the above reasons, for building the belief, for learning about the tools, for growing your team, for every reason, it is absolutely imperative, if at all possible, that people just make the commitment and be there.
You have to master getting to the event, and you have to master the art of getting other people to the events. That's what the big money earners do. It's just imperative that that's part of your method of operation to build this business. Now, Ridgely, I want to share another point too. It's called, once the event occurs and all these new people are there, now you have what I call the post-event activity.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yeah, I want to bring that up. So we have the event itself that will deliver and raise people's vision, give them their belief, get them the information that they really need to be successful. And we talked about the pre-event, which is so critically important so that you do get people to that event. And that's using all the tools that are there and getting them into the pipeline, looking things over, getting them on the products, getting them plugged into the calls, getting them plugged into the systems. And then now you have this gradient working for you where it's not that much of a stretch now to go to that event.
Right.
If you haven't done that pre-work, it's too much of a gradient to say, hey, come out to this location and get there.
Right.
And so that pre-event activity is critically important so you do have a successful event. Now we've had the event, now everybody's on a high, now we've got people who have taken the good look, and now the post-event activity is this. We now need to get our arms around the people, those new people, and really get our arms around those people. Identify the people that are willing to do the basics of the business and are fired up and excited. And you can identify them very easily. They show up. They just, here I am. I'm ready to go. Here I am. So this is not a mystery. You know. And so you get your arms around those key people. And then, of course, in our business model, we begin to rank advance them, get them into the compensation plan, teach, train, develop, coach, and help them get to that next step. And if you have a small army of people doing that, what's going to happen to your check?
It's going to go through the roof.
There you go. That's the power.
So, you heard it from Jay Bennett, the Blue Collar Networker, the power of events. If you have an event up and coming, I know we certainly do in our company, get there, register, and focus on getting as many people as you can to join you for that amazing experience.
And you don't need to wear a disguise. You can come as you are.
Thanks a bunch, Jay.
Thanks.
So funny.